What's up, everybody? Howdy, howdy, howdy. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Looking forward to seeing a bunch of you guys on the free class tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern. If you guys are watching on the replay, links down below for that. We're going to be kind of sourcing products together, jumping on a Zoom workshop, basically, chopping up, how to run the Amazon business, how to source products, how to get started, all that good stuff. Yeah, super excited to see you guys on the free class tonight. We'll be able to answer your questions, and then we're gonna be breaking down some stuff that's not free anywhere else. Stuff that you won't find on YouTube. Just kind of making sure you guys are properly ready to crush the game here in 2026. And yeah, just going live for probably 30 minutes or so to answer any questions you guys have about selling on Amazon. So let me know who's in chat today, and let's get it rolling here. What's up, Chris? How you doing, man? Good to see you. I know you said potentially made your first sale. Did you have any? Did that order go through? Or is it still pending? That is funny that happened on your first one. But your first real sale will come by in no time, regardless. What's up, Jane? You said you're here. I'm good, Jane. Glad you're hanging out. Yeah, let me know what questions you guys have when it comes to getting started on Amazon. Yeah, sweet. What's up, Ashley? What's up? How's it going there? Absolutely. Yeah. So for a lot of you guys, I know everybody's kind of trying to start something that actually works in 2026, kind of getting after it, that kind of thing. Easiest places to start. I know that's probably where everyone's, wondering, like, what do I sell? Where do I even start? Right. If you want to figure out like what to even sell in the first place, then like going to like local clearance sections, super easy, low hanging fruit. There's also a bunch of yellow tag sales, so a bunch of like local retailers, like TJ Maxx and Marshalls, Ross, that kind of thing, are cleaning out a lot of inventory. That's like super low hanging fruit. And then if you want to do it all online, then it's just auto ungated sourcing is kind of what you're looking for. And yeah, let me know what other specific questions you guys have. Let's see what's the fastest way to get ungated and a bunch of brands. So as long as you're buying from like legit retailers, legit wholesalers, anything like that, whether it's Target or directly from the brand or from a distributor that's authorized by the brand, those are all legitimate ways to source inventory as far as Amazon's concerned. And then you'll just give that to Amazon basically, and kind of go through the process there. You can also sell auto ungated products, like I was talking about. There's a lot of products that are like automatically approved. So like the vinyl category has been interesting. Athletic Works, anything that's like retail store brand is definitely interesting. What's up? Yeah, a bunch of different ways to make money online these days. I like it. I'm not the type of person that's like, quit your job and you have to only do this business. Like, there's a lot of fun things to make money online. The main thing I'm excited about is that we live in a time where it is easier than ever for like normal people to make money. So I don't care what you do, just take advantage of that, right? We got the internet. You can literally launch a business for $5 now. Like, just take advantage of that privilege. Obviously, I focus on Amazon, but I see a couple people talking about like different business models as well. Like, do something that's fun, makes you some money. That's what matters. What's up, Chris? You said made your first 2 sales. There we go. Yeah, congrats. That's awesome, man. Let's see. Do you recommend owning personal brands or just reselling? So I don't personally do like private label, where you'll see people like buy a product from China and buy marketing ads, like all that kind of stuff. What I'll do is I'll buy, for example, like recently I've been buying some stuff from Walgreens. I'll buy, let's call it a bottle of vitamin from Walgreens for $10, and I'll sell it on Amazon for 20 or 25, right? And usually what makes that like a good opportunity is like coupons, limited time sales, clearances, stuff like that, right? I'm kind of looking for those like limited time windows where stuff is really cheap, stocking up while it is cheap, and then selling it after that, basically. Sweet. Bunch of you guys in here today on TikTok. Let me know what questions you guys have when it comes to selling on Amazon, making money online, all that kind of stuff. And a lot of you guys asking like how to source, get ungated, that kind of stuff. I'll be hopping on a free live Zoom call with you guys tonight. Actually, we do this like every couple weeks, and the one I got coming up is tonight. So you can check that out in my bio. If you want to hop on Zoom, we'll be sourcing products together, getting ungated, just kind of breaking down the whole business model, basically. What up, Caden? How you doing, man? Let's see. Why are you getting denied when you have legitimate invoices straight from the distributor? That's why I've been saying, like, it's just totally normal to have to submit multiple times these days when it comes to ungating. For whatever reasons, just like kind of part of the process. Whether I buy from the distributors, whether I buy direct from the brand, I just tend to have to submit anywhere from like 5 or 10 times. So I'll just make that part of like my daily routine, is resubmitting on any brands I need to. And eventually it goes through. For sure. Let's see. MT said, what tools do you use to sell? So SellerAmp and Keepa are what you use for sourcing inventory. And then Boxem is what you use for managing inventory. So that's, shipping products and doing your analytics, boosting your feedback, all that kind of stuff, like the whole back end. So SellerAmp, Keepa, and Boxem. Sweet. Let's see. Been submitting a bunch. Yeah, kind of sometimes you can get it on the first try. Sometimes it takes a lot. It's just kind of what it is. What's up, man? How you doing? Let's see. Profit. Yeah, so I shoot for 10% net margin after it's all said and done. What you want to be between 10 to 20%, or you don't want to be close to 10% gross margin. You're going to be somewhere around like 15 to 20% gross margin. That way, when you want to start outsourcing things. So at this point, like I pay my team to source all my products, to manage all the products, to ship all the products, all that basically, like the kind of the nitty gritty daily tasks. And you obviously need some money left to pay yourself and pay people as you scale. So yeah, if you're closer to like 10% gross margin, probably get a little better at sourcing, find extra ways to make margin, that kind of thing. Let's see. Not hiring right now. I respect the ask though, man. You have networking skills. Yeah, I like it. Yeah. Sweet. Do you recommend hitting reply on the case or creating a new application? For ungating, I'll pretty much always make a new case. Dang it. Yeah. Sweet. Let's see. Where can you buy ungated products? So that auto ungates don't really depend on like where you're buying things from. There's just certain brands that are auto ungated. It's just kind of how it works. So if you plug in like a vinyl listing or Athletic Works, Target's Up and Up, like anything like that, that can be like a good starting point for you. Let's see. What are you selling? Anything that's profitable is short answer. Long answer is things that are on sale, right? So I actually haven't done much sourcing today, but usually I'll load up I'll load up a website, figure out, oh, Walgreens has a sale on vitamins today. Okay, let me go look at people who sell vitamins on Amazon. I'm going to pull up their storefront on SellerAmp and see, all right, this seller is sourcing a bunch of vitamins. I know where vitamins are cheap today. Let me compare back and forth. That's called reverse sourcing. It's like the kind of the more fundamental way to source, basically. Let's see. How far out should a grocery expiration date be? Yeah, good question, man. Usually it's 90 days plus the expected shelf life of the product when it comes to like expiration dates and stuff. So for grocery products, usually it's like 100 days or so. For something like vitamins is like where maybe it's a 365-day vitamin. You'd have to have 90 plus 365 days out as the expiration date. Let's see. What's up, titties? Sweet. Let's see. Do you use eBay at all, or do you stay away from it? You hear Amazon's more expensive. Yeah, the fees are higher on Amazon, but the upside to the higher fees is that they're finding a lot more customers for one, and they're doing like fulfillment and that kind of stuff for you, right? So, yeah. Usually, I sell on eBay, but eBay is like a liquidation marketplace for me. Is kind of how I look at it. Like I'll just sell, like returns, like damaged products, stuff like that on eBay, or anything that might have had like some kind of listing issue or something like that. For sure. See, what do you get the most returns on? You're scared of that? Like women's clothes is really high, women's shoes, electronics has really high return rates, that kind of thing. Just kind of like, it's pretty logical, like the things you'd think would get returned a lot. Usually, kind of checks out. Let's see. What's the best place to get invoices? So every time you buy, you'll get an invoice by default. Whether you're buying from vitacost.com, they're going to send you an email. That's your invoice. Or you buy from a wholesaler, they're going to email you an invoice, right? And if you're not getting that, then make sure you're buying from things that are sending you some kind of documentation of what you're buying. For sure. Let's see. Do you have to pay for it when you ship it out? So, I mean, you do pay for shipping. Yeah. So you'll pay most of the time. Like what I like to do is I'll do Amazon FBA. So I'll ship most of my stuff to the Amazon warehouse and then they ship to the customers for me. So the front end on that shipping process, I'll go into Boxem to make that shipment. It'll cost me like 60 cents a pound or so. And then when Amazon ships that to my customer for me, that's included in my fees. So like if you load up, like if you go load up SellerAmp, which is like the fee calculator you'll use, it'll include all that by default. Yeah, for sure. See, is there a certain address you should send it to after you get approved for ungating? And just make sure you're shipping things or at least putting the billing address as your Amazon account information. Yeah, for sure. Appreciate you guys spamming the like and stuff over here on TikTok. I know it's cheesy, but it it helps out for sure. What's up, Turkey? You said you sold your first product. That's what's up, man. That's a major W. Let's get some W's in the chat for Turk there. Anybody else made their first sale or anything recently? That's hype. I love seeing that. Let's see. Your budget is 2 to 3K. Everything is set up here with an LLC. What model is better? So I would just dive into the free, just like some free content, man. Sounds like you have some very general questions, just like how do I start? 2 to 3K budget is great. I had like 1,500 when I started, just like reference. Honestly, you should come to the free training tonight. So we'll be jumping on a free Zoom, like basically Zoom workshop at 7 p.m. Eastern. That's down below if you're on a horizontal platform. If you're on like TikTok or something, it's up in my bio. We'll be jumping on a Zoom call, sourcing products together, talking ungating, like the whole process, basically. Kind of trying to condense what would take several hours to learn on YouTube into just one night. We'll be chopping it up live and that kind of stuff. Let's see. Can you start with no money? I mean, you need some money to buy inventory. Honestly, like if you have no money, then go work some extra shifts, hit the Uber Eats for a little bit, whatever you got to do. You'll need like $1,000 to get started. Another thing you can do is sell stuff that's super cheap. So you can sell like used books or go to yard sales, estate sales, stuff like that, and buy stuff super cheap and resell it. That's just kind of general like reselling, flipping, that kind of thing. That stuff's super fun. I did a lot of that when I was getting started out as well. It's just not like the most scalable, obviously. See, where's the link for the workshop? So yeah, if you guys want to come to the workshop, 7 p.m. Eastern tonight, the link is up in my bio or down below, depending on what platform you're on. About $1,000 to start. Yeah, that would be like a kind of what I would call the minimum budget for reselling from websites. For sure. Let's see, is the wholesale market dead right now? I don't think so. I don't personally do a ton of wholesale, but some of my friends who do 8 figures a year in wholesale are still having a lot of fun with it. Yeah, that's why I like selling on Amazon, just making money online in general, right? There's a lot of different ways to go about it. So just pick something you could see yourself doing for a long time. I just don't personally enjoy like the daily of running a wholesale business and stuff, but I like doing arbitrage. Let's see. It's all the same, Affy. Let's see. Why are you ungated in most brands rather than a beginner? So you'll just naturally get ungated to sell things over time, whether those are auto ungates. The more you sell on Amazon, the more you'll get auto approved to sell, just based on Amazon being able to trust your account a little bit. And then you'll also just end up submitting invoices and stuff to sell lots of other stuff. Let's see. How long could it take to make 10K a month? To make 10K a month, you're gonna you said make, so I'm gonna assume you're talking profit, right? So let's say you want to profit 10K a month on Amazon. The way it usually works is about a 30 to 35% ROI on the money you spend. So conservatively, you spent like $35,000, somewhere between $30,000 to $35,000 on inventory to make $10,000 in profit. So if you don't have $30,000 right now, I know I didn't. That's totally fine. You can just like start growing the snowball, basically. If you do, then awesome. That's kind of the roadmap there, and just buying as much like profitable inventory as possible. What I would say is like kind of like more high achieving sellers where it just like kind of clicks for them, just kind of makes sense. Maybe they've already got a little bit of a reselling background or just tech savvy, that kind of thing. I'll see those people usually do like 10K revenue in their first 30 to 45 days. The average seller that just kind of hops in and just is messing around usually does like 2 to 5K in their first 30 to 45 days. That's with like a little bit of like daily effort and that kind of thing. People who are taking it really seriously will do better than that, obviously. Let's see. Do you do FBA? Yeah, I'm pretty much all FBA at this point. I'll do a little bit of FBM during like holidays when like there's like limited time opportunities, basically. But yeah, mostly just FBA, just for scalability, basically. Let's see. It's why I don't sell women's clothes for the returns. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Or you'll see the worst times are when somebody places an order and they buy the large and the medium and the small, or like something like that, and they're about to return the other two. Like, yeah, those are the not fun ones for sure. Let's see. You're new. You want to start selling books to build up for FBA. Having trouble with your shipping template. Yeah, Destiny, I have a YouTube video on that. If you just look up like Fields of Profit FBM on YouTube, you can kind of break that down. See, do you have US suppliers? So, I mean, yeah, like my suppliers are just big websites. I made a free list of them. It's in the free course that's in my bio or down below, but it's basically just big websites like Vitacost, iHerb, Target, Walmart, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, don't overthink like the supplier side, right? A lot of people think you're buying like some like top secret, like tiny websites you've never heard of. Like really all it is figuring out like, hey, this website runs a 25% coupon once a month. And these 10 items are good when that coupon's on. All right, let me buy those items. And then you learn that for another website and another website, right? And you're just kind of building that consistency based on like just remembering sales that come back a little bit. For sure. What up, Joe? How you doing, man? Good to see you. Let's see, Wholesale's alive. Yeah, I'm sure you know very well that Wholesale is alive. Hope you're doing good, Joe. Good to see you, man. Let's see, kitchen products easy to get ungated for. It's a 10-unit requirement. It's a spoon. Yeah. I mean, if it's just 10 units, you just go ahead and rip that order there. See, how do you start selling on Amazon? Yeah, I mean, like the basics is just to start selling things that already sell, right? So buy from Walmart, sell on Amazon. Buy from Target, sell on Amazon, right? Stuff like that. But if you want to see like the full like detailed explanation, we're jumping on a free Zoom workshop actually tonight. It's live. We do them every couple weeks, but this one's is tonight, so it's a good time to be here on the live and that kind of stuff. You can get registered up here on TikTok or down below if you guys are elsewhere. And yeah, we'll be jumping on Zoom, sourcing products together, kind of breaking all that down. For sure. Sweet. Let's see. Do you physically have to buy it to have it in your possession? Yeah. I mean that. Otherwise, like if you don't, you're doing drop shipping. Which unless you do it in a very specific way, you're breaking Amazon's terms of service. If you drop ship on Amazon, basically have to be working with suppliers that know you're drop shipping. Essentially, for drop shipping to be viable. But yeah, so the way it'll work, like the vast majority of the things I sell, I'll buy it from a website. I'll ship it to a prep center, which is in a state with no sales tax, so I can save money on that way. And then they'll ship it to Amazon for me. For sure. Got you, Joe. Let's see. Where do you sign up? For Amazon, just go to Amazon Seller. If you're talking about the free workshop we're doing, that'll be at 7 p.m. Eastern tonight. So we'll be breaking that down. The invite is up in the bio or down below, depending on where you're watching. Let's see. What was the video? Yeah. If you just look up FBM Fields of Profit on YouTube, you'll probably see the shipping template that I'm talking about, Destiny. I think it's a good way to get started for sure. Let's see. Can you select no returns? No, that's part of why so many people shop on Amazon, right? Is because the return policy is so good. That's like those things you got to remember, like just kind of part of the business. But as long as you're buying things that are not going to be like heavily returned or just kind of making sure you're looking for like higher profit on things that might have return risks, then yeah. All right, man, you gotta maybe not spam. Sweet. Let's see. Do you think TJ Maxx is good for FBM? I mean, any way you source is potentially good for FBM, potentially not. You need to look at that particular product. So like when you look at the data on SellerAmp, there'll be a little pie chart that shows you who is making sales, what fulfillment method, what price they made sales at. And if you see other people like you making FBM sales, then yeah, you'll be good to go. Otherwise, if it's going to like all FBA or all sellers that, or maybe it's the brand directly on that pie chart, or it's just Amazon winning the pie chart, that kind of thing. For sure. Let's see. How do people do RA when you don't get a real invoice? So you can't get ungated doing RA just because it doesn't have your address on it. But you can do retail arbitrage with like in-store receipts, because all you need to do at that point is prove that your stuff is authentic. And at that point, if you have a receipt from Walmart that shows the product that you bought, then you can prove that that product's authentic, basically. You know what I mean? But yeah, you won't be able to use it for ungating, essentially. Let's see how long it take you to get to that point. So I've been selling on Amazon for about 7 years now. Yeah. So first year was right about $100,000 worth of used books. Like the first year, kind of taking it seriously. It was about $30,000 in profit on that first year, just like going to thrift stores, scanning books, and then eventually realized it was going to be a lot easier to scale a business buying stuff from websites and kind of doing things a little bit more just doing things from home, basically. For sure. Yeah, I think it took me like three and a half years to hit my first million, which is definitely a lot slower than a lot of sellers are hitting it these days. But just kind of, it's my college side hustle, basically. And then went full time after right after I finished college. My senior year of college did like 600K in revenue, right around like 120, 125 in profit on that, and decided to go full time and don't still don't need a real job. Hopefully won't ever. Let's see. Is selling used books still profitable? Yeah, I mean, it's really hard not to make profit on used books because you're getting them so cheap. The hard part of used books is scaling them, because obviously, it's not that hard to spend, 10, 20, 30K on used books. But when you get to the point where you have lots of money to deploy and you're just not finding them, like that's where it gets hard to scale that much further. Let's see. RA is only good for auto ungating basically, or things that you can get ungated online for. So let's say you find 100 of something in store or 10 of something in store, right? And you want to sell it, just get an online invoice. So like I'll scan stuff in store, find some good stuff, and then I'll go source for more of that brand online and then use that online invoice. And then I can sell all of the stuff that I bought. For sure. What do you sell? I mean, anything that sells, like short answer, but like recently I've been doing a lot of is like vitamins, shoes, clothes, makeup, like stuff like that. In general, the best things to sell are brands that are available on like 5 or 10 websites, maybe more. That way you're going to see like if website A wants to make a sale on the same product that 20 other websites are selling, they have to run a sale, right? They have to run a coupon, they have to run a discount. So then that creates price competition. And then when the price competition gets really good, it's way cheaper than Amazon. I buy a bunch and then sell on Amazon for more. That's kind of like in general. So yeah, look for those things that like lots of websites sell. Is like kind of good to be on the lookout for. See, what does Amazon do with unsold product? Is there a shelf life for products, even if it's not food, to have an expiration date? So technically, you could leave your stuff at Amazon forever if you really wanted to. If you end up buying something that just like doesn't sell for whatever reason, then after 6 months, you start getting long-term storage fees, is like the technical term for it. But you really shouldn't run into that too much, because the point of reselling is selling things that you know how fast they're going to sell, right? If you're buying things that you're just like, I don't know, maybe it'll sell, then you might as well like make your own brand at that point. That way you own the upside. But yeah, like you're not always going to sell things profitably, of course. Things happen, list prices change, but you should always at least be able to sell it. Get some of the money back, get all the money back, that kind of thing. Invest it into something better. Let's see. Was it hard to start selling on Amazon? Any barriers? Yeah, I mean, anything that works is hard. Like it's definitely hard work. A lot of hours, that kind of thing. But like the way I like to put it is, for anyone that's making a lot of money, at some point they were willing to make very little, right? So like when I started selling on Amazon, I was probably making $5 an hour tops. You know what I mean? Like learning everything, making mistakes. Some days you're gonna straight up lose money learning it. But the only way you get to the crazy hourlies, if you want to look at it that way, that you're probably hoping for, is to be willing to make very little on the front end, put in the hard work on the front end, and see the results on the back end. That's at a fundamental level. That's why a lot of people just try to start a business of any kind and don't get anywhere, because they're just not willing to make $3 an hour to make $300 an hour a year later. Let's see. Amazon bin return place, are these hurting your sales? No, that doesn't really affect the way like return bins only happen because there's lots of returns on Amazon. So honestly, a lot of those like returns places are getting their inventory from big Amazon sellers that are just looking for somewhere to sell their returns, or they are Amazon sellers themselves and they sell a lot of that stuff on Amazon and then they just sell it in person as well. It's kind of like, I would say, symbiotic. Those places wouldn't really hurt resellers at all. If anything, people will source there for like eBay and stuff like that too. Sweet. Let's see. Tried to sign up. Account got rejected for no reason. So they probably just like mismatched like an address or something like that. Just dive back into the application, figure out what they didn't like. Let's see. You have to make some items profitably, you find. Would you mind explaining the process? Yeah, it's a good question, D-Bergs. You've been doing your homework there. Yeah, like the main thing to keep in mind when you're sourcing products, you're not finding profitable items, you're making them profitable. So what I mean by that is you're not finding an item for $20 that sells for $40 on Amazon. Sometimes you might, but you are much more likely to see an item for $30 that sells for $40 on Amazon. But by the time you check for a discounted gift card on Cardbear, it's like, oh, I can save 10% there. And oh, I checked Capital One Shopping for a coupon. Oh, I can save 20% there. And oh, the website, they give me 5% back in loyalty points or something like that when I buy an item. Okay, now I've created like 30% worth of discount essentially. And now I can buy that item that other people might have skipped over. Yeah, that's like the real where people like try reselling arbitrage, that kind of stuff, and don't succeed. Like 9 times out of 10, it's because of that. It's because they're not creating margin. They're just hoping it like slaps them in the face, basically. For sure. Can you ungate using Walmart? Yeah, Destiny. Let's see. A lot of listings are generic, but selling branded products. Do you ever create a generic listing? Yeah, that's like just like kind of one of those common red flags you want to avoid. If you look at the listing and it says like brand generic, just like straight up on the listing, that means that somebody who probably was like not authorized to make that listing tried to make the listing, and those listings can get taken down. And if you sell on those listings, it can be treated as like copyright infringement because you're basically saying, hey, this Dove soap, I'm going to pretend that it's called generic and I'm going to sell it as generic, right? You can sell, name brand stuff. Just make sure that it's written as the correct brand name on Amazon. You guys will see what I mean if you ever done sourcing where it shows the brand name, that kind of thing. Let's see. Why is Amazon picky on ungating? I mean, it makes sense if you think about it. Like they just don't want a bunch of fake stuff being sold on Amazon. At this point, I'm partially just feeling like they just want everybody to submit multiple times so that the only people selling name brand stuff on Amazon is people that are like actually dedicated to it. Not just like looking for, quick money, that kind of thing. It's not really the type of person that should sell on Amazon. For sure. Let's see. If you want to make 1 to 5K a month profit, that's a wide range. I'm going to say 3K a month profit. How much you think you need to spend from your experience? Yeah, so that's good. I like it. Yeah, so you can reverse engineer anyone's goals, but let's use 3K for this example. Usually your ROI is going to be about 30% as an Amazon seller, which means that if you made 3K in profit at a 30% ROI, you spent $10,000, right? So usually whatever your profit goal is, you can roughly triple that. And that would be your spend goal. Like if you can spend that every month, you'll be getting close to or at your ideal profit goal. Obviously, that assumes you're buying good inventory. So don't just like go out there and buy a bunch of junk, right? But if you're buying like $10,000 worth of good inventory, it's going to create about $3,000 worth of profit, for sure. 900K a month, Amazon at 21. That is hype. If true, let's see. Yeah, that's hype, man. I love seeing the young hustlers. I like seeing the old hustlers too. I like seeing people up in their like 60s, 70s making a bunch of money on Amazon. Let's see. What up, Canadian? Let's see. What's your account health dashboard? What's the worst it's looked like? I mean, you're always gonna have like you're always gonna have like a complaint or two. It's just normal. Whether it's Amazon saying, "Hey, your price is too high on this," or it's something like, the brand wanting you to prove that you're actually selling authentic stuff. It's normal to have like some things showing up on the account health for sure. The main thing is you're just not letting them stay there. So if you get what's like probably a more common thing you'll run into is a customer buys a product from you, they leave a review, they say, "Oh, we think this is fake," even though obviously it's not fake. You're buying it from a big retailer. Then you just have to go and upload that invoice and say, "Hey, Amazon, we're not selling fake stuff. Here's the proof," and it would fall off your account health dashboard. You say Vitacost is good for ungating. Yeah, I've used Vitacost before. Let's see. When you buy in bulk, where do you shop and sell? I mean, honestly, like some of the biggest websites is where I'll buy inventory. I think Walmart, Vitacost, Ayer, Kohl's, Target, anything like that, right? Any of those big websites that ideally big websites that run sales. Honestly, I don't tend to buy a ton of inventory at Walmart or Target because they don't run sales. You know what I mean? So I'll buy most of my stuff from websites where they might have a 20% coupon running for a couple days, goes away, and then no one else can buy those same items profitably for a little while. That's why I like buying at those places that actually run sales, basically. Let's see. What up, Japers? Yeah, for sure, man. If you're looking into the roadmap, yeah, I mean, you can reach out for help. We jump on weekly calls, lots of sourcing methods, that kind of thing. Yeah, you can check it out. Money back guarantee, all that. Let's see. How much do you need to start? At least $1,000. Yeah, very healthy start to be like $3,000. Let's see. On average, what do you pay to keep a product first page of search? So you don't have to do that at all when you're selling name brand stuff, just because it's already being searched. Like that's the point of reselling. So you're not buying ads or marketing, anything like that. Yeah. So like if you if you look up your Stafford underwear or whatever, people are already searching for that. You can sell it with no ads. For sure. What's the Zoom going to be out tonight? Yeah, so the free workshop, we're going to be going live in 2 hours. 2 hours from right now, we're going to be on a Zoom call, sourcing products together, talking about ungating, sourcing auto ungated products, showing some sourcing methods using some extra like Keepa features. Basically, we're going to be diving into some AI applications. It'll be about 90 minutes of information. Make sure you bring a notepad, that kind of thing. You guys can get invited to the free workshop up here on TikTok or down below if you guys are on YouTube or another platform like that. So probably a good place to wrap here. Try to hit the gym for the workshop, and I'll see you guys in about 2 hours.